Today I am walking you through my new preset pack for wedding photographers.
Taylor Jackson.
Shooting 67 weddings last year.
Taylor Jackson, welcome.
So Taylor, you are well known in this community. You're an amazing photographer.
An exciting day here. These are supposed to be out October 1st, but I'm putting them out a few days early. So if you're interested in signing up to the member site, one, you get every preset pack that you see over here. So every single one of these presets, which are the ones I use. Primarily, I'm going to say I'm using the 2020 presets, and specifically 2020 clean is kind of my go-to this year since using Canon a lot more. With Nikon, I'm a lot more on this main 2020, but I have found that with Canon colors, the clean seems to go a little bit better kind of across the board. All of these presets, including the new ones, I really want it to be a pretty much one-click solution for the entire wedding gallery. I kind of use it as a glue to keep the entire gallery feeling cohesive. So that is kind of why I like that clean preset, because it does enough without kind of stepping over what I would be comfortable delivering for a wedding gallery, which basically means 10, 20 years from now when people are looking at their wedding photos, they're not going to look like the style of the time. They're going to look like just really great images. And at the end of the day, maybe for the next couple of years, people care about the new and cool kind of, I guess, color palette, which secret preset number 2 kind of steps into just a little bit. People are going to enjoy that for a little while, but looking back at an image like this 20, 30 years from now, you're gonna want just kind of something that's a little bit more chill, I think, overall. But for the time being, if you're enjoying the style, I do have this. So to walk you through the new preset pack, preset number 1, actually, let's start down here. So fall is, I would say, the most relaxed of all of the presets. So here's a sample of this photo straight at a camera. Here it is with fall. Also this green image, I'm using this green image because it does show the most differences, I think, in the greens, which as wedding shooters, at least myself living in a place that's not a metropolitan city, I tend to find myself in green space quite a lot. And even if I am in the city, we're usually looking for gardens, something like that. So that's kind of why I'm using this as a sample image, but I will show you these on a few different wedding days as well. So this is the most relaxed. This just kind of makes the greens the way that I want them to be. Moving over into preset number 1, a little more contrast, as you can see. Number 2, as I mentioned, you might even need to do a little, this preset specifically, it works okay here. Obviously it has a huge effect on the image, but what it works really well for is images like this. So for instance, you're just looking for those good skin tones in here. You might have to cool it down just a little bit. It's a little too warm in camera, but something like that, it works really well. So that's the original straight out of camera image, and that's with just the preset and a couple of quick tweaks. Going back to the green image here from Haley's wedding, really any of the presets, if you're a member, you get access to all of them. Really anything can work, which is a positive and a negative because it's quite overwhelming to decide. I would say if you're somebody that tends to shoot a little bit warmer in camera, that 2020 main would be a good go-to just kind of for everything across the entire board. And if you tend to shoot a little bit cooler, 2020 clean might be the one to go to. If you are looking for that preset just to go across the entire gallery, from getting ready images to images that are lit with flash to images that are lit backlit, it really is kind of that one-click solution. Or tried to make it as much of a one-click solution as I possibly can. To show you a few other images with the new presets here. So this is straight to camera image, what that looks like. Here's the fall preset on that. Might even need a little exposure there. I think that looks pretty nice. Moving back here, exposure might have to come down a little bit. Somewhere around there, looks pretty nice. And something like that also looks very nice. All of these images, he's a little too in the shade, I think, right now. All of these presets, including all the other ones that you're seeing here, really have all been designed for skin tones in mind. They are all for wedding photography primarily, with the exception of the travel commercial, but I have really designed them all, as you can see, commercial simple loading up there, to a place that it will always favor skin tones. So none of these are specifically just geared 100% towards landscape images. That said, they all will do a pretty good job with landscape images, but they are all geared towards people and skin tones. So straight to camera image like that. Secret preset 1 on there. Secret preset number 2, which you already saw. Secret preset black and white, which is kind of after like an HP5 style kind of tonality, I guess, overall. Maybe you can see that, maybe you can't. Either way, I think it's a very pleasing black and white with a little bit of warmth in there. And then the fall preset, nice and relaxed. I'll give you a few more examples here. Straight to camera, preset 1, preset 2, black and white, fall. A few more examples. So here's a straight out of camera image. In the video that you would have saw, if you haven't checked out the full wedding day yet, maybe go and do that. In that video, I'm fairly certain I would have used preset number 2 in this scene right here, but preset number 1 also works very, very well. You can use your own judgment and decide which you'd like. Moving into this wonderful photograph of a cake, I would be using either 1 or fall on this. Number 2 is going to get rid of a lot of those greens, and I want those greens to kind of stay in as a little bit of that natural contrast, and I might even have to bring highlights back a little bit just because the cake, it's a white cake in a darker environment. But overall, from a straight out of camera image looking like that to something like that, I think that stylistically will last the test of time. Moving into a ceremony image or 2, coming down here into secret preset 1. And if you are interested in saving the sky here a little bit, basically what's happening is that I'm trying to expose for the people. I'm always exposing for people and their skin tones first. If you are interested in doing something like bringing that sky back, you can play around with this a little bit here. You don't want to bring it back too much because it starts to look really fake. And you could also do something where you actually bring the color temp down to bring in a little bit of that sky to make it feel a little bit more, I guess, as the scene was. The other thing, I guess, overall, you can see that I shot this with my 85 1.2. If you're shooting this with a 24-70, if the sky, and basically if you're shooting really, really wide and you're getting a lot of the scene, I just noticed that Lindsay's in this shot too. If you're getting a lot of the scene, it makes a lot more sense to bring in the blue. And I feel like wide angle shots, one, you're gonna get a darker part of the sky too. So basically as I'm shooting here, I'm shooting very much along the horizon. So I'm getting kind of the brightest, almost the most white part of the sky, even though it is a blue sky day. But if I was up here as well and getting lots of that blue sky from more of an angle right above me, in that case it would be a lot easier to bring in the blue from the sky. So an image like this, I might be doing something like fall just because it is a little bit more contrast rich image with bright highlight. So I'd be happy with something like that. And again, from the last one, if you're interested in just bringing in a little bit of the sky, that is obviously too much, but you can bring the highlights down a little bit and something like that, just to kind of bring in that sky just a little bit without making it look too much like an HDR image. Here they are, leaving, back in good light. So you can use any preset. You can use this preset here if you want. You can use this preset. You can use this preset. You can use this. So all of them work. And maybe just to speak about how I do black and whites as well. Whenever I go through a wedding gallery, if I am delivering a black and white image, I'm also going to be delivering the color unless there is a reason that I can absolutely not deliver the color. And what I do is I right click and I go over here to create virtual copy. And then when that second image appears, I'll do that so that when they're clicking through the gallery, they're going from the color version to the black and white. So they always have that option if they want it. And then the other thing, I guess, with all of my black and white presets, I do my best to make sure that they don't really adjust the exposure through a variety of other settings. I want it to basically be that one-click solution. So if you edit this photo and you're happy with the exposure in it, and then you click the black and white version of it, that it should just be a one-click solution in pretty much every circumstance that I've found myself in. I should also mention that if you do join the member site and you get all of these presets, that there's a 100% money back guarantee. So if you do join and for whatever reason these presets just don't work with your style, there are a lot of options in here, so I really do suspect that it kind of will work with anyone's style. But if you don't think that the content is for you on the site, then by all means send me an email. I am taylor@taylorjacksonphoto.com, and just say that you'd like to take me up on the 100% money back guarantee, and I'm happy to send you your money back. All right, that is the quick demo of the new preset pack. If you're a member, you already have access to this. You can just go download it. If you're not yet a member, join up before October 1st. I know October 1st is coming up pretty quickly now. But if you get in before then, one, you're gonna get in on the early rate for the member site, so you're not gonna pay as much money. And that is a deal that will never expire. So if you're in for that rate, the price is never gonna go up on you. But if you join after October 1st, the price will be a little bit higher. So get in now. And again, 100% money back guarantee. If you're not happy with them, just send me an email, taylor@taylorjacksonphoto.com. And if you do join up to the member site, don't forget to join up to the members group on Facebook. There's a lot of activity in there every single day. So come on over and talk about wedding photography. And if you're interested in hybrid coverage specifically, which means doing both photography and video, I would say that is one of the best resources kind of on the internet as far as just if you have any questions about hybrid coverage. I would say most of the hybrid shooters that are out there on the internet are probably part of that group. So thanks for watching, and I hope that you enjoy the presets, and I'll see you again another time, maybe let's call it Thursday. See you Thursday for a special presentation, to say the least. See you then.